So here's something interesting. This is from 60 Minutes. This was in our Reddit. And it looks like we're on the brink of a very interesting new discovery, and we'll see how the world responds. The unlikely eccentric inventor turning inedible plant life into fuel. Fuel for what? Fuel for your vehicle. Marshall Madoff unveils to 60 Minutes his innovative method of turning plant life into fuel and other useful products. Now, I'm going to go through this. I took a quick peek at this. Like right when it was sent, someone put it in the Reddit, and when I clicked on it, I did kind of peruse it really quickly because it's a long interview, and we don't have, like, we're not going to be able to go through the whole thing. We're just going to kind of get, like, the summary of it. But I'm gonna address something, and I'm curious if you guys agree with this. The unlikely eccentric inventor turning inedible plant life into fuel. So this guy is named Marshall Madoff. You never know who's going to be the one with the big idea. History has shown it's not necessarily the person with the most impressive credentials. A breakthrough can come from the least expected. Perhaps even an 80-year-old eccentric from Massachusetts who toiled in isolation with no financial support for more than a decade. His focus, a challenge that has stumped scientists for many years. How to transform an edible plant life into environmentally friendly transportation fuels in a clean and cost-effective way. This unlikely inventor calls himself messianic, as in the Messiah. Sounds like a humble dude, and likes to say matter-of-factly that he is saving the world. I'll echo that first sentiment. Very humble dude. And that's what you think, says Leslie. Yes, says Marshall, I'm saving the world. Well, he apparently is able to use inedible plant life to create fuels for our vehicles. And there's a picture of him looking out at the water. I can't help but feel like there's a certain element here, like they're like, 60 Minutes! Most inventors you'd think are rich scientists, or people with all kinds of fancy gimmicks and gadgets. Turns out this old dude who doesn't like people and has no money invented something cool. Who'd have thought? Doesn't that blow your mind? Like, there's a certain condescension in this article, I feel like. But then this dude's not necessarily humble, so, you know, whatever. Take it for what you will. It's just like, can you believe this old guy did something? Who'd have thought that would happen? Maybe I'm being a little hard on it, but I feel like there's a little bit of that going on. He just hangs out in Massachusetts by himself. You'd think he was like, I mean, don't you just think they feed ducks or something? But this dude's inventing shit. Whoa. Way to go, Einstein. I don't know. I'm embellishing at this point, but I think you guys get the idea. All right, let's go back to it. See what else they're talking about. Engineers yelled, yeah, see, there we go. They're like, well, most people are like at Stanford and MIT. This dude's just standing in front of a pond. Look at him. This dude, he's just you think this guy would invent shit? Who would think that? He invented shit, though. Crazy. 60 Minutes. It's this guy, huh? Check it out. All right, so he explains how he does this. So he knew that there's a lot of energy in plant life. It's in the form of sugar molecules that, once assessed, can be converted into transportation fuel. Now, the key word here is access. You have to be able to access it properly. And if I sound like I don't know what I'm talking about, it's because I don't. I mean, I understand the basis of this, but as far as what assessing it properly means, I have no freaking clue. That's why I didn't design this. This dude did. This dude in a pond, he knows how to assess the sugars to make your cargo vroom. Look at him. All right. This sugar is nearly impossible to extract cheaply and cleanly since it is locked tightly inside the plant cellulose, the main part of the plant's cellular walls. What's so tantalizing is that sugar-rich cellulose is the most abundant biological material on Earth. It's everywhere. That's what Marshall's telling us. He's like, dude, it's everywhere, bro. I mean, there's just so much cellulose in the world, and nobody has managed to use any of it. So Marshall's going to try to use it. All right, so let's go see the summary of what exactly he did here. We don't have time. Oh, look at that. That's all right. That's really sad. I didn't see the head. That's just, so this person died. 26. That's way too young. It's kind of weird, man. You're just scrolling an article, and all of a sudden it's like just a person's face, just like big all up. And all right. By the way, I'm seeing all this for the first time. If anyone's not familiar with the concept of the show, and you're watching it like right, and you're like, what the hell is he doing? Premise of the show: I see all these articles for the first time, and we go through them together. We're basically getting our morning news, or afternoon news, or evening news as a group. All right. So is there enough energy biomass to supply enough of this ethanol and gasoline in the world? And they're saying it can make a significant dent. So transportation fuels that are clean, green, plastic that disintegrates, sugar that doesn't rot your teeth. It's hard to believe, but it all flowed from the mind of the most unlikely of amateur scientists, who was inspired not by any academic laboratory, but by his own musings at Walden Pond. That's got to be the thing they throw in last. They're like, once again, can you believe this is an old dude at a pond? I can't get over it. It's just an old dude at a pond. And he's like, I can break up sugars and it'll make your car go, and it doesn't destroy the environment, and it breaks our reliance on fossil fuels. But don't forget the real headline here. It's an old dude at a pond. The old dude at ponds. 60 Minutes, where we cover more old dudes at ponds doing cool shit. Maybe we will. It doesn't matter. They might be able to change our entire world. Maybe that's why he was kind of like, yeah, I'm saving the world. Maybe because they were like, you're an old dude at a pond. What are your thoughts? And he's like, are you serious? That's your first question? Like, you're an old dude at a pond and you're doing shit. That's crazy. Can you get over that? Do you know you're an old dude at a pond? Don't you want to talk? Our cars can run on sugar now because of me. If this spreads across the world, it'll break our dependence on fossil fuels. Old dude at a pond! And he's like, I want to end this interview now. Maybe that's how it happened, like, when it started. So he was just like, fuck you. I'm a freaking messiah. I'm saving the world. Fuck off. And then they printed that. They're like, edit the fuck off part. Oh, man. 60 Minutes. Old dudes at ponds doing shit. All right, so anyway, we'll see what happens there. I'd imagine it'll be a 60 Minutes segment where they point out multiple times he's an old dude staring at a pond, and then the oil and gas company will try to squash this as much as they can. But hey. Get your news on with Ron. Don't you want to know what's going on? We're getting our news on today. Get your news on with Ron. Don't you want to know what's going on? We're getting our news on today. Yeah, yeah, yeah. You can tweet me an article at Ron Placone. We'll go through it together